Defensive Rookie of the Year. How did that feel to get that news?
It feels good. Not much celebrating going on now, though. We got a game to prepare for.
Nick, is there a different feel to this week as opposed to last week?
No, I think it's pretty similar. Just extra energy all around. Just have to bring it. Yeah.
When you had Dee Ford back on the field with you Saturday, what did that do for the defensive line, and how did you notice how the Vikings blockers, how they changed their scheme up with him?
They didn't change their scheme. Just having D is a mismatch for just about anybody, which opens up things for the other guys, and everybody reap the benefits.
What does it do for you guys when you and D are lined up together next to each other, supposed to run up? What are the advantages that gives you?
Just speed. It makes the O-line think. They usually know something's up, and then we could catch them off guard with some other things. And then obviously the other side of the line has to deal with Buck and Armstead. So
when you came to this team, you said it wasn't a 4-12 team. Obviously, Jimmy was hurt, but what made you say that about this team?
Just being a football fan last year, knowing what kind of players they had on the roster. I didn't know to this extent how good the depth was and stuff like that, but I just knew that of the top teams picking, this was definitely the most playoff-ready team.
In what ways did your cousin Jake influence you? I understand he worked out in Florida and I think lived with you for a while when he was preparing for the draft. How did he sort of shape your development life?
Not much. He's a great friend. We grew up together. He lived in Chicago. We would visit and just have really good times together. I wouldn't say he was a mentor to me or anything because I had my brother and my dad for that. But no, he's just a really good friend and a cousin, obviously family.
What do you think about sort of his path? I mean, you and your brother obviously were very high draft picks, and he wasn't drafted and had to kind of scrap his way to his place in the league. And what do you think about sort of that path?
It's awesome. I mean, he actually, when I was in high school, was living down in South Florida, training for the combine, living with me and my mom while he trained. So I got to see how hard he had to work to get to where he was, and how many tough years of being on the practice squad and stuff like that. So he's earned everything he's got, and I'm proud of him.
You said after that October win in LA that this was a championship defense. Did you feel it after that game specifically, or did you know that beforehand?
I mean, I'm not saying I know things in the future, but it just seemed like we were playing really good ball, and that we had everybody we needed to be one of the best in the league.
The first meeting, Balaga left the game early. He got hurt in that first game. What does he add to that? He's healthy. What is he?
Just another really good tackle. Whenever you're a veteran, I feel like being a veteran at tackle is probably the most advantageous because just all the savvy little tricks they have. And I mean, he's faced tons of good rushers over the years, just like their left tackle, and it's going to be even more difficult with him on the field.
One last question about Jake.
Chris Kasarik after the game on Saturday. How has he kept sort of the message fresh for you guys week in and week out? Does he have a different message going into every game?
Yeah, sometimes it's the same though, because sometimes the same thing needs to happen for us to win. It usually revolves around stopping the run, setting edges, stuff like that. But yeah, just being physical is probably his biggest message every week.
One
The
last question.
49ers have had such a great history in, forever. How much do you feel that history, and how much do you feel this group and these coaches and John Lynch embrace the past and the history of this greatness?
Yeah, I mean, just having guys around like Jerry Rice, just messing around before games with our receivers, like that's not a normal thing. And you just walk around the facility, you see the Super Bowls, you see the past players. After the game yesterday, I was having dinner at the restaurant in here, and just seeing a bunch of people that you would never expect to be a 49er fan, and they're just here because the brand is so global, and it's really cool. It's really cool to be a part of.
One last question on Jake. You mentioned the time he lived with you and your mom in Florida. Any favorite memories from that time? Did you guys?
Yeah, we went
fish?
fishing. Yeah,
Yeah.
we went fishing a lot. He's a big fisherman, so we would just go out on the dock, catch all different types of fish.
Talked about some of the stuff you do in the run game, setting out just the physicality. When you look at the Packers now on film and prepping for this game, how difficult is it to kind of stop some of the things that they try to do in the run game? Or is it somewhat similar to Minnesota's and some of the things you can work that worked against the Vikings you think could work against them?
It's definitely similar, but they have a lot of little wrinkles that they add in to try and get the edge. Their running back likes to bounce it outside. But the principles are the same, play the same technique, same everything. We just have to be more physical.
A few of your teammates talk about how they feed off of you guys as a defensive line, that everything kind of trickles down. Is that something you guys are aware of, and do you embrace the idea of kind of setting the tone?
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning of the year, we knew there was a lot invested in our room, and if this team wanted to go where we wanted to go, we would have to be a big part of it. And obviously, it's not all up to us because we've had bad games, and everybody else has picked up the slack for us. So we just need to finish this year out strong.
All right, thanks, Nick. We got Joe Staley for you guys next.